jumping, with the shell drilling and the chemicals pumping. Thick in the air to the point it's baking. Polar caps into a glacial lake, burning them. I'll keep it quick and simple. I go crazy when I hear this info.
Well, today is International Day of Women and Girls in Science, and that is important because according to the United Nations, at present, less than 30% of researchers worldwide are women.
One scientist has made it part of her mission to make her favorite topic more accessible to young girls. And we're going to welcome into the studio engineer, scientist, public speaker, and rapper Dr.
Yes.
Tracy Fanara from the Moat Aquarium in Sarasota, Florida.
And we are total fangirls. We're so glad that you're in studio visiting us today. So let's get right into it. You know, how did you get interested in science, and were you ever intimidated by it?
You know, I wasn't. When you're little, you don't have anything to be intimidated by because there's nothing. It's all new.
Yeah. Right.
And I had just this affinity for invention. I wanted to invent things. I loved science from a young age. But as you get older, you know, those societal norms come into play and you get intimidated. So I never thought about engineering because it just seemed intimidating.
Yeah.
It seemed like something that I didn't want to do. And it was actually by chance that I got into engineering. And it completely opened my eyes that that's exactly what I was supposed to be doing my entire life. And it just worked out.
Yeah, so it was the stereotypes, really. That's what that pulled you back from science. So talk about how it's so important to dismantle these stereotypes from the beginning, right? So that young kids don't face this.
You're exactly right. You know, we have these girls pink, boys blue, but really it's just what color you like when it comes down to it. And it's so important to break those stereotypes because, first of all, that's where the jobs are going. The jobs are going towards STEM. Not only that, research has found that more diverse teams are more effective. So women getting involved in science and engineering is just going to push us forward.
So how do you inspire girls? How do you inspire women? Because it's never too late, right? I mean, we saw your rapping, but you've also done a comic book. What haven't you done?
Oh, there's so much still to do. Like, I get overwhelmed by the stuff that I'm not doing.
Yeah.
But as far as inspiring other people, I'm inspired every day by the things that I don't know by other people. So it's easy to transfer that energy to people.
Do you see the breakthroughs when you're rapping or when you give someone, you know, your comic book?
Yeah, you know, like, well, the rapping is more, I get laughter. But the comic book, because not only do we go through these different STEM adventures, but also there's a real expert in every issue. And then on top of it, a hands-on experiment that kids can do at home. And that's the biggest obstacle for anybody at any age, is doing something that they've never done before, getting over that first obstacle.
Yeah.
And that's really the first boundary that we have to break.
Yeah, so I want to talk about something that's important to me too. There's a 2015 gender bias study done by the Gina Davis Institute, and it said only 12% of on-screen cameras are women in STEM professions. So it's important for girls to see that they're women scientists.
You're exactly right. When people think scientists, like little kids, they think Bill Nye.
Yeah.
There's no female role models. Thank gosh. The world has you guys.
Hey, we got science with
yeah.
And you know, it's happening there.
Yeah, you guys are truly role models in STEM. And I'm glad that you mentioned the Gina Davis Foundation because they started a show called Mission Unstoppable. And I was featured on it a couple weeks ago. And it's just amazing. They feature all these women in STEM, all types of different fields, from music to hardcore science like I do. And it's really an inspiring show that kids can see now.
Yeah. And women, I don't want to leave out women either, you know, as they're getting older. Dr. Tracy Fanara, thanks for coming here.
Good to have you in studio.
Yeah,
thanks,
so fun to have
guys.
you here in studio.